Selamat malam semuanya para sidir. Namo Sang Yang Adi Budaya, Namo Buddhaya. Perkenalkan, nama saya Kevin Charles. Kembali lagi di acara LAMAR, Life and Mature di Siddhi Channel yang tayang pada hari Jumat pukul 8 malam. Yang tidak hanya menghadirkan topik-topik yang menarik dan juga kekinian, namun juga syarat dengan dhamma. Teman-teman yang ingin mengikuti update dari video-video yang ada di Siddhi Channel, jangan lupa memencet tombol like, komen, share, dan juga subscribe. Serta teman-teman semua juga bisa menyalakan lonceng yang ada di sebelah tombol subscribe agar teman-teman semua tidak ketinggalan update dari Siddhi Channel sendiri. Acara lamar ini juga mendukung program Siddhi Counseling. Di acara Siddhi Counseling sendiri, kita menghadirkan para konselor untuk membantu sidir semua untuk menyelesaikan masalah, baik itu masalah psikologi, masalah ekonomi, masalah keluarga, kesehatan, maupun hukum. Teman-teman semua yang merasa ada masalah boleh langsung saja hubungi call center kita di Siddhi Counseling, yaitu 0811 9873 300. Sekali lagi saya ulangi, 0811 9873 300. Tentunya para konselor kami akan senang membantu teman-teman semua dan juga senang untuk mendengar cerita serta keluh kesah teman-teman semua. Baiklah, tanpa basa-basi lagi, pada hari ini kita tentunya memiliki tema yang sangat menarik sekali teman-teman semua. Tema kita pada malam hari ini adalah Buddhist Nuns and Social Activism Making a Difference in the World. Jadi teman-teman semua, dari judul ini sudah terdengar sangat menarik sekali ya teman-teman. Selain dari judul yang menarik, kita juga kehadiran narasumber yang sangat menarik sekali. Beliau jauh-jauh dari luar negeri terbang ke Indonesia untuk melakukan sharing dhamma dengan kita semua para sidir di Siddhi Center. Saya kenalkan Sayalay Hemava. Welcome to Siddhi Center, Miss Sayalay. Jadi teman-teman semua, sekedar informasi juga, Sayalay ini sendiri adalah founder dari Compassionate Hands yang telah berdiri dari tahun 2008 sampai sekarang, dan juga beliau adalah founder dari Compassionate Tour and Travel di tahun 2013 sampai 2020. Jadi teman-teman semua, beliau adalah sebuah sosok yang menurut saya sangat menarik sekali untuk membahas tema kita pada hari ini. Tanpa basa-basi, langsung saja kita mulai teman-teman semua. So, maybe that I would like to start. Maybe you can introduce yourself to the audience that how is it going lately, or maybe how's your life going lately, and why are you in Indonesia now?
So first of all, I would like to introduce myself as Sayalay. Sayalay is a Buddhist nun in our Myanmar language. So I was ordained about 1.5 years ago by the Mahabodhi Sayadaw. He was very famous as an arahat in Myanmar. In the year 2008, I founded a small foundation called Myanmar Compassionate Hands Foundation to help the people of Myanmar. And from this foundation, we built the school. We did the best is the natural disaster response, and also we helped tens of thousands of people of Myanmar. Before that, I was a professional English and Spanish speaking tour guide since the year 1995. So to have a small foundation, it will not be enough just getting dana from other people. So I would like to support my foundation by my right livelihood. So in the year 2013, I founded a travel agent called Compassionate Travels and Tour. So 10% of the net profit of the Compassionate Travel and Tour will go directly to support the people, the project what the Compassionate Hands, Myanmar Compassionate Hands is doing since 2008. So which is what I feel that it's a kind of accomplishment, not only doing business for my own, but this money will go to the project what I trust, and I did it.
Okay, so it's pretty interesting that maybe you founded Compassionate Tour and Travel to actually support your own organization, Compassionate Hands. And we also can argue that about that organization need funds to operate, and also we as organization also, it's not enough to just receive dana from other people to operate that. It's actually a good thing. But after chatting with you, maybe I would like to know that actually what inspired you, because you already make a business, you already settled compassionate tour and travel, a travel agent business in Myanmar. So actually what inspired you to be active in Buddhism in Myanmar?
Because we need to have our own goal in our life.
Yeah.
Why do you want to have from the life? So we can get many. After getting in one level, we would like to get something more important than money.
Yes,
so
it's true.
There's three things I would like to encourage to tell this talk is the last word of the Buddha is the appamadena sampadita. Don't forget.
Yeah.
What we should not be forget is in one day we don't know when we will be die.
Yeah, it's true.
And Buddha said that we don't know when we will die, so we need to prepare it. So when we are still young and energetic, we make best use of our time to meditate and find the way of the liberation. For me, my parents were passed away, so I have a saying that I did the job to look after my parents.
Okay.
So I just give back the gratitude of my parents.
Yeah.
So right now, I have no volition and no responsibility to make money.
Yeah, it's true.
It is more important for me to find Dhamma. I
Yeah.
choose it to be a practitioner of Dhamma in full time.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Before I was a part-time, I may meditate, I may go and donate at the monastery, but not dedicate my life as a nun.
I see. Okay.
No, I should dedicate more for.
Yeah, and we on the journey that you walk through, like sharing Dhamma and also that being active in Buddhism, that I actually want to know more that what kind of social activities maybe you are doing in Myanmar, or maybe what are you doing in Myanmar to actually develop Buddhism as in a religion in Myanmar?
To be honest, Buddhism in Myanmar was rooted for thousands of years, so I don't need to do it. It has already been rooted in the people, but we can help our younger generation, because the young generation, they need some good example, and also what the elder people are doing is very important for them.
Yeah.
So when I have chance, I may go and spend my time with the children, and I love to teach them Anapana meditation and metta, and I try myself to be a good example in my daily life as a keeping precept and Sunday metta, try to meditate regularly. So since I was at the lay person life, people get inspiration from me. They meditate because I encourage them to meditate. It can help you.
Yeah, it will help actually help us from meditating and then do practical from Buddha's Dhamma, right? So maybe that I was also curious that you told me that you are inspired from your life, that we will know that when we will die, actually that maybe a few seconds will be happening, or maybe it's few years later that we will be dying. But maybe I would like to know that what's actually the key reason that for you being so dedicated and determined to make yourself being a bhikkhuni?
We are not bhikkhuni.
Oh, you are not
because this is a very sensitive walk in the Buddhist Dharana, because the bhikkhuni was disappeared 900 years ago.
Oh, I see.
So there's many rules to be a bhikkhuni. There are 311 rules, more than the nuns. So the bhikkhuni in Buddhism was disappeared, but we are nuns. Nuns, so this is we are keeping 10 precepts and staying at the monastery, nunnery or meditation center, and they are studying the teaching of Buddha or meditating. So in our country, we are addressed like Sayalay, not as bhikkhuni. So what impressed me is my grandmother. She was a nun for 25 years because my grandfather, he passed away quite young at the age of 33 and left with 5 children to educate them. So my grandmother, having all the duty she needed to do as a mother, she told to all of my auntie and parents, I finished my duty. Now the time I have to find I have to find liberation for myself. Yeah. She became a nun for 25 years.
For 25 years. So maybe that's the one that maybe being a key reason that inspired you to being a nun today here, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
No, I finished my duty also.
Yeah, so that you are finding a liberation for yourself now, like your grandmother in the past, right? Yeah. Okay, I see. So actually I think it's amazing for you to choose this path to being a nun, because I think that especially all around the world, I will not say that only in Indonesia or only in Myanmar, that people maybe will be more determined and dedicated to establish their own business rather over than being a nun, right? And that's a fact that we can't argue on, that many people choose for not being to find their own liberation, but to establish their business more so they can pass it to the next generation. So maybe I would like to know your perspective also, that what actually make you so determined, and your perspective on the people that may be trying to find the liberation, but they are not trying to, practicing Dhamma properly, but they are trying to establish their business. Is it a right thing or wrong? How's your perspective on that thing?
To do business is nothing wrong, because there's a many sutta by the Buddha. He gives the suggestion of how to do business. What are the responsibility of a business owner? What are the responsibility of a husband and wife? So there's a sutta taught by the Buddha. Buddha never said that doing business is a dirty business. So he didn't condemn the people who are doing business. For example, those who are supporting the Buddha sadhana are the rich person, like the Anathapindika, like Mother Visakha, Sita Dachwe. There are many lay people who are living the life in the lay person life and supporting the Buddha sadhana. So we do need to have a good business. Without having good business, how can you support the monk? If the country is very poor and the difficult situation, we will be very difficult to support the Buddha sadhana. So I would like to say that each and everybody have your own choice. So we cannot condemn them. Doing business is so bad.
We cannot say that it's a right thing or a wrong thing, right?
So for my side, I choose to be a nun because I would like to be. It's my part of my life. So I will not tell you be a monk or be a monk or be a recluse for your life. But I would like to give you a very beautiful teaching what we can use for everybody. The five things what we can use in our everyday life for the lay person. There's a very educated monk in Myanmar. His name is called Yosiadoji. He's the one who can memorize all Tipitaka about 40 years ago. And I have a chance to listen to a Dhamma talk by him, and he gives this beautiful suggestion to all the people who are living in the lay person life. The first one is we need to do dana. Dana is just give it. But we think that dana is just going and give at the monastery. But it's not. We have to pay many things in our life. Even we can give dana to our family. When we are feeding to the family, it's also dana. But we must be very wise. So the whole family, if we are the Buddhist family, we can take refuge in triple gem. Buddhan Saranam Gacchami, Dhamman Saranam Gacchami, Sangham Saranam Gacchami. So take refuge in the triple gem. It's very important. So your family members are those who are taking the triple gem. And then we need to take 5 precepts. We all know that abstain from killing any living being. Buddhism is very, very particular. Not only human being. All living beings abstain abstain from stealing, abstain from doing adultery, abstain from telling lies. In telling lies, there's 4 stages. Musawada, of telling lie, Protsawada, of curse, sway, telling useless word, and making the others animal, and not taking any intoxication, drinks and drugs, even including wine or beer or nowadays wheat. So abstain from 5 precepts. So every day when our family are keeping sila and saranago, even you give a cup of water to your son, it's a dana. If you are giving a tool fee to the government, it's also a dana. So in our mind, we can have the volition, with this many, those who got my dana, be happy, get the benefit. So this is what we can use in our daily life. And the 4th thing is metta. Concentration, there are 40 types of concentration, but very important to have the metta concentration, concentrated mind. And it is look very difficult if you say it's very high, but just think very easily. May you be happy. May you be well and happy. So those who we are walking, who we see on the walk of life, we can tell that, may she be happy. And when we travel, on the both sides of the road, there will be trees. There may be visible or invisible beings. Those who are owner of the houses, those who are living in these places, may they be well and happy. We can send our very sincere, loving kindness thought to this being. And the 5th thing is this vipassana. Vipassana is seeing things in the different way. We always think that everything is permanent. Oh, I will be not dying in 10 years, I will not die in 50 years, but this is very long. But whatever you see, even little things are changing all the time. I moved this pen from here to, this is changed from here. This is also changed.
It's also changed.
And for the housewife, there was a one woman. Her name is called Terika. She is a housewife and cooking vegetables in the kitchen. So she's cooking greens in the kitchen, and when she stir fry it, the veggies are changed from green to wither.
It's
just
cooked,
looking at it, she reached to the 3rd stage of enlightenment.
So it's actually some simple things that maybe we don't realize in our daily life, right?
In 75% of the big city of the Buddha time called Savatthi, they reach to the stage of enlightenment. They are not monks and nuns. They are doing their own business. They are supporting their family. They reach to the enlightenment stage. And there are many lay people in our Buddhist scripture. They reach to the high stage of enlightenment. So we don't need to be upset. We don't need to be, disappointed. We are lay person and not doing this. So this 5 things, please try to do it in your everyday life.
So by trying to doing it our everyday life, it will actually make us realize that we don't need to give efforts such as being monk or nun. We're just being a simple person that doing Buddha's Dhamma every day. It will be a part of our life that maybe some of us even doesn't realize it, right? So it's very inspiring me in this way that actually that paying government like to a fee or just sharing a cup of water is being done every day. That I think probably most of the people won't think this way. Being mindfulness sometimes is so hard that to realize those things out here that actually many things we have done is part of Buddha Dhamma, right? So that I would also like to ask your opinions that maybe some people that say Buddha's religion in a way it's so restrictive, but in my personal opinion, I think that Buddhism as a religion, we stand as a very universal teaching, and we doesn't seem so restrict anything. That how do you think about that? From my opinion, maybe I will say like our every teaching in Buddhism, it also applies on maybe for them that are in the other religions. They are doing it, but maybe it's in a different way and different teaching only, right? Because I believe that all religion out there is trying to lead us in a good way. So how do you think about that?
Buddhism is not a religion.
Buddhism is a teaching.
It's not a religion, it's a teaching, ways of life. So if you can apply his advice in your daily life, you will be happy. You will get a success.
Yeah.
So when you are doing business, there's a 4 thing Buddha suggests you to do it. The 4 thing is like that. You have to try very hard with the perseverance, find it, your wealth. And when you got it, you have to keep it very well. And then you have to get very good friends, kalyana metta.
Yeah, kalyana.
And then you have to use according to your pocket.
Oh,
if you have only $100, or if you have only $10, you should not dream, I cannot live a big mansion, or I cannot get a Rolls Royce. So use according to your pocket. So this is the 4 thing, what people, when we are making money, what we have to do it.
Yeah, so actually that just being mindful enough to manage your own financial and being mindful enough to receive friends, doing social things out there, it's actually part of a teaching that Buddha suggests to us, right? Yeah, I see. So I would also like to know that, because I know that I heard that you in Myanmar maybe helping to developing and helping in social activities in Myanmar. So we as Indonesian that we also want to do that kind of things. So maybe can you share some tips and tricks to us Indonesian Buddhism to do social activities out there, to how to start it all? Maybe some people out there is trying to start their own things that, but they are maybe too afraid to take a step forward to do those things. So maybe can you share us some tips and tricks on this thing?
First thing is your compassion. If you have a compassion towards those who are suffering, it will bring you the initiative to do it. And don't do it alone. Try to pull the people, and it will make a big big effect on it. So, for example, in the year 2008, there was a big cyclone hit Myanmar. Over 300,000 people was killed. And it's one of the deadliest cyclones in our history. So I would like to do something. At the same time, I cannot afford by my own. So the people from all over the world who were my old tourists, they asked me, Snow, what would you like to do? I told them, the children, their mind was affected. So they need something to be a remedy. So I helped them organizing the children meditation courses with the help of the Goenka organization. We reached up to 3,000 children getting one-day children meditation courses and teaching them about Dhamma. So it's one of the milestones in my life. And from that time onward, I did many things. So, for example, like the last previous New Year, 1st January, I did the dana for 2,222 monks and nuns at the Sakai Hill with the collected dana of the people from all over the country, all over the world. So now when the people know that, hey, Sayalay, what are you going to do? I told them, I'm going to do this. I'm going to donate at the Sakai Hill, or I'm going to build a cinema hall. I'm going to make the dana of the robe. Last year, I made the dana for the robe for the 620 monks at the monastery called Mahavihara. Each and every monk got one set of robe. So, and many other things we donated to the monastery. So something like this, if you have the compassion, you may have the metta of the loving kindness. So it will make a kind of great force toward you. But when you are having things, sometimes things we cannot help to the people. At that time, we do need to have the equanimity. And then sometimes we need to neglect it. This is not the strange thing I'm talking to you. This is just metta, karuna, mudita, and upekkha. Sometimes we forget. We read the book, we study, but we
forget it.
We forget to put in our daily life. Try to use it.
So just that about things that actually Buddha's teaching that maybe we learn it in a theoretical way, but we don't do it in practice. We don't do it in practical way. So we always forget that Buddha's teaching is actually helping our daily life and makes our daily life better and better from days to days. So yeah, that's a good inspiration for maybe people out there that want to start doing things for their own. So, and I would also like to know that sometimes I think that talking about business, your previous, maybe before you become nun, you are also starting your own business. And I would like to also ask that, how about people that being in desperate way, when in desperation, when their business fallen down? So let's say that they started their business and it's a pretty successful business, but only until the middle way, it suddenly fell down, they suddenly got bankrupt, and then they're also desperate in their own way. So maybe that, what's your opinion, or what you want to share to them in this way, in this case?
This is very interesting because nowadays many businesses were stopped because of the COVID.
Yeah.
And many people are having a difficult time. There's a 8 Lokadhamma.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes, do you know the 8 Lokadhamma? Lavo, alavo. You can get a lot of money and you will be poor.
Yeah.
Yato, ayato. You will have many people around you and you will be alone. Yeah. Someone will praise you, someone will praise you. Tukkan. Goodness and badness. So out of these 8 things, in our life, when you have success, when you have money,
you're so feeling so happy, right? Yeah.
You don't think you have this 8 Lokadhamma. Actually, you are getting one of these Lokadhamma.
Yeah.
And when you have bankrupt, when your business is not successful, you are getting another Lokadhamma. So what Buddha always said, that you need to get yonito manatikaya. You must have the right thinking. If you don't have the right thinking, at the time when you are failure, it a great push you to be desperate, to be very depressed and happy. And at that time, what you are going to do, you can make problem to your nearest one. The nearest one to you are those you dearest one.
Yeah.
Can be your family member, can be to your parents, can be to your children. So at that time, just have the yonito manatikaya, right thinking. I was successful. Now the time it will fall down. Okay, how can I rebuild myself? How can I reconstruct my business?
Yeah.
What's a new way I can do it?
So don't get stuck when you are falling down, when you're having bankrupt, or when you are sad, or when you have difficult time. Just don't stuck on those things, but don't forget that we also have some things that is dear to us, such as family and such as friends. Maybe we can share with them our thoughts, our sad time, our difficult time, and let them maybe convince us, becomes our inspiration up there for doing a more proper reconstruction for ourselves, right? Yeah, it's actually very inspirational. I think it's maybe sometimes that in Buddha's teaching that it's just some simple things that we don't realize, but it's just simple basic Buddha teaching that maybe we are not mindful enough to realize them, that they are in our everyday life, right? And many people out there are doing that. So hope that by this talk show, by our sharing talks here, that will be an inspiration to them, and it's also have been inspiration to me too, to actually being sad and being happy is just a cycle of life. Then we don't get stuck by that cycle. Right? Okay, so maybe enough of talking. That I also would like, I'm very curious that you come to Indonesia, right? I also heard that from you before that you already worked pretty a long journey on Indonesia. So maybe can you share that your journey in Indonesia this far on this time? Where have you gone, or maybe what you do, what you did before you came here? Maybe you can share with us in what you do in Indonesia.
This is a very remarkable trip for my life, because my decision is at the end of my long journey, I will be in monastery, and I was cut off from all of the social media and contact, and I will meditate more and more. So we have a wish. We would like to see the Buddha.
Yeah.
And within this previous, I was in here 9 years ago, and within 9 years, there's many ups and downs in my life.
Yeah.
With my parents, with my business. So since 2020, all the travel business have to be stopped in the war.
Yeah.
Now most of my friends, they are restarting their business, and I have no volition at all. What? Am I from this business cycle or not?
Maybe just our cycle, right?
Yes, because now I want to be more, try to find my peacefulness. So I went to Buddha, and I love this place. This is a place where people give their love of Buddhism. You can see at this place.
Yes.
All the stone scripture, how intricate it is, how beautiful it is. They give their mind, and they want to educate. All this thing, they want to keep the teaching of Buddha long on this land. But unfortunately, they lost it. And I went to Jambi, and when I was at the Jambi, Jambi is a kind of very mysterious place. I love this place.
Yeah.
And I was in Bali, and since I'm out from the airport, I told my friend who came and pick me up, he is from Ukraine. Hey, Bali, it's not Indonesia, it's not India, it's another country.
It's very different, like from the other places.
Totally different.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Indonesia is a country in the way to the development. At the same time, we do need to have our mental development. Without psychological and mental development in the religion, we will be a country without a heart. So each and every one with their own religion try to be a good religious people. Try to teach the teaching of Buddha and try to put it in our life. And then it will lead us to be a better situation rather than derailing. It's very easy to be derailed in our life.
Yeah.
And try to be a good Buddhist by yourself. And if you are a good example, people around you may recognize and want to learn from you. And you are giving fruit to them also.
I see. So actually that maybe some things that you love in Indonesia is like Borobudur. You can see that the teachings there, maybe the history that everyone wants to educate the other people on Borobudur, stone sculpture, like So maybe that for the last things in our conversation today, maybe that you can share some thoughts on Buddhism to our Siddhi out there, that our audience today, that maybe what you want to share, especially maybe in a business, other than maybe what you talk better, or maybe you can conclude it in several sentences, and that may be inspiring them to start again, to don't get stuck by being falling down because of their business, and don't get stuck on just only on one thing.
I'm thinking what to recollect, because our lifespan is very short and limited. We cannot control there's many things we cannot control. So the 8 lokatama we're going to face in our life, as I mentioned before, like can be rich, can be poor. So whatever happens in your life, you should be more strong in Dhamma, and please don't forget the 5 things you should do in everyday life, like the dana, Taranagom, Tila. Taranagom is the Buddha-Taranangasami, Dhamma-Taranangasami, Sangha-Taranangasami, and 5 precepts, Metta, and impermanence of the Vipassana. So the 5 things you can do it in your everyday life, And another thing is everything is impermanent. So never forget it. And we have no appointment with our death. So try to use this time until you can reach the Nirvana. Whatever you do for the business, nothing is wrong. Since the time of the Buddha, Masawidaka, Anathapindika, Satan they did their business successfully. Even the donor of the millions of golden coin to the Buddha, Anathapindika, one day he was broke because he don't get the tips and his business was not successful. Even at that time, he keep going to the Buddha monastery and doing the dana. With the land he got from his home, he brought it to the Buddha, spread around the garden to get more fertile land. So you can do one thing or another. Don't be disappointed. Try to stand up, stand back. And for the people who are doing the business, there's a 14 Buddha suggested, like that. You need to have the perseverance, Uttana Samatha, and then you have to keep your thing properly, trying to get good friends, and try to use the money according to your pocket. This is the 14 Buddha said. So I hope these things you can use in your day-to-day life, and at the same time try to have metta, love and kindness, karuna, compassion, mudita, when you will be happy with the success of the other, and the upekkha, once the thing you cannot control it, don't try to do it. Just try to be equanimous. Try to use this technique as the Buddha taught in the scripture, and be a happy person and try to walk on the pathway you can reach until to the Nibbana.
Okay, so don't just learn by theory, but maybe start practicing it in our daily life. Start by little things, by practicing the sila or practicing metta, karuna, mudita, and upekkha, and eklokadama, and many more things that actually may be basic for all of us Buddhism. It's just basic Buddha's teaching. There is more than that, maybe that we could explore more, but maybe that some people will start. I hope that some people, by sharing this Dhamma, some people will start their own action and activities to start practicing Dhamma daily, to start practicing Buddha's teaching by starting just a little, it's fine. And we will start growing more and more day by day, and we won't realize it until one day that we are very happy with our life. We found that liberation that we need to search for. Okay, so thank you, Sayalay, once again that we have your time here and you come here to share Dhamma far away from Myanmar until Indonesia here to just share Dhamma. Once again, thank you, Sayalay, to come here and share some talk and being inspiration with us.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
May you all be in Indonesia, be well and happy, and may you all be finding success and happiness in your life. Sadhu, 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 sadhu. I would like to share all my merit I accumulated in this life. May I share the merit of dana. May I share my merit of sila. May I share my merit of bhavana. May all of you people get it, who are connected with me or not connected with me, please get all my merit, and may you all be well and happy, and may you be free from all the suffering. Yuro mujaba gono. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Sayalay. So, teman-teman Siddhi semua, beruntung sekali kita kehadiran Sayalay kali ini telah melakukan sharing Dhamma yang sangat menarik sekali. Semoga melalui sharing Dhamma kita kali ini bisa menginspirasi teman-teman semua dari sosok beliau yang mungkin sangat bijak dalam mengatakan hal-hal dan yang menginspirasi kita semua, mulai dari mempraktekkan Dhamma setiap harinya, tidak belajar hanya dari teori saja, namun mulai sedikit demi sedikit mempraktekkan Dhamma dalam kehidupan kita sehari-hari. Baik itu kita sedang mengalami kesedihan, mengalami kegagalan dalam bisnis, teman-teman semua mungkin bisa memulai untuk mempraktekkan Dhamma sedikit demi sedikit, agar mungkin kita menemukan sesuatu yang bikin kita tidak tidak melekat lagi dengan yang namanya kesedihan maupun kegagalan. Baiklah teman-teman semua, terima kasih sekali lagi kepada Sayalay yang telah hadir pada hari ini, yang telah memberikan kita semua inspirasi. Beliau menjadi sosok yang sangat inspiratif sekali bagi kita semua teman-teman Sidiar pada malam hari ini. Teman-teman semua, saya juga mau mengingatkan kembali bahwa teman-teman jangan lupa ada aplikasi Budayana hadir untuk kita semua, umat Buddha, aplikasi Budayana. Berbagai informasi dapat para Sidiar sekalian peroleh dari aplikasi Budayana ini, seperti agenda kebaktian, berita kegiatan, artikel Buddhis, dan juga untuk mendapatkan kartu tanda umat Buddhis, dan masih banyak fitur-fitur lainnya lagi teman-teman semua. Jadi jangan ditunggu lagi, mari kita download aplikasi Budayana sendiri, ada di Play Store maupun App Store. Jadi teman-teman semua bisa langsung melakukan searching pada App Store maupun Play Store yang ada di device teman-teman semua. Baiklah teman-teman semua, tanpa menghabiskan banyak waktu lagi, terima kasih teman-teman Sidiar telah menonton malam hari ini. Semoga sharing Dhamma kali ini bisa menjadi inspirasi bagi teman-teman semua. Jangan lupa juga untuk like, comment, share, dan subscribe agar teman-teman semua tidak ketinggalan update video-video yang ada di Siddhi channel yang kita upload setiap hari Jumat di acara LAMAR, yaitu Life and Nature. Teman-teman semua, terima kasih. Saya izin mengundurkan diri.